nirvana. He was like a man who, in a dream, builds a raft to cross over a big river and who feels sick because his arms are tired. In the middle of the stream, he wakes up out of his dream and says to himself, "Why do I imagine there is a river and that I must cross it?" And at once his worries have disappeared. In the same way, the bodhisattva, having reached the seventh bhumi, acquired acceptance of the teaching of non-arising. The course of his mind stopped and he wanted to enter into nirvana. When Sakyamuni was at this stage, the Buddhas of the 10 directions emitted rays that illumined the bodhisattva's body, and with their hands caressing his head, they said to him, "O son of good family, do not make that decision. Remember your previous vow, which was to save beings. Without any doubt, you know emptiness, but beings are not liberated nevertheless. You must again gather the qualities necessary or convert them. B. Do not enter into nirvana. You have not yet acquired the golden-colored body or the 32 major marks or the 80 minor marks or the immense rays or the 32 acts producing the marks. You have just attained the dharma relating to non-production. Do not rejoice too much." Then, hearing the encouragement of the Buddhas, the bodhisattva returned to his first decision, practiced the 6 virtues and set himself to save beings. Such was the help that he received from the Buddhas when he reached Buddhahood. B. Moreover, when the Buddha had attained enlightenment, he had this thought: "This dharma is very profound. Beings are stupid and of little merit. What can I do, I who have also been born into the world of the 5 poisons?" Having had this thought, he said to himself, "Within this single dharma, I will make 3 parts, and these parts will be the 3 vehicles by means of which I will save beings." When he had thought thus, the Buddhas of the 10 directions caused rays to appear and they congratulated him, saying, "Good, good. When we were in the world of the 5 poisons, we too divided the single dharma into 3 parts to save beings." Then hearing the voices of the Buddhas of the 10 directions, the Buddha felt great joy and cried, "Homage to the Buddhas." This is how the Buddhas of the 10 directions rendered him great services by encouraging him and helping him several times. And now, out of gratitude for all these benefits, Sakyamuni offers flowers to the Buddhas of the 10 directions. The highest Buddha qualities do not exceed those of these lotuses. Why? Because these precious lotus bouquets are the result of the same Buddha qualities. These are not ordinary lotuses born on the water. Samantarasmi, a Dharmakaya bodhisattva dwelling on the 10th bhumi, had brought these lotuses and scattered them on the Buddha Sakyamuni. The latter, knowing that the Buddhas of the 10 directions are a supreme field of merit, in turn offers these same lotuses whose value is thus doubled. Why? Because it is a Buddha who is offering them to the Buddhas. Actually, in the Buddha Dharma, there are 4 types of gifts. 1. The donor is pure and the recipient impure. 2. The donor is impure and the recipient is pure. 3. Both the donor and the recipient are pure. 4. Both the donor and the recipient are impure. Here the gift is made to the Buddhas of the East. It is doubly pure, both in its donor and its recipient. Its merit is very great. This is why Sakyamuni offers flowers to the Buddhas of the 10 directions. Question. But the noble individuals who make such meritorious gifts will receive no reward because they will not be reborn. Why do you say that the merit of this gift is very great? Answer. Although there is no one to enjoy this merit, it is great in itself. If anyone enjoyed it, the reward would be infinite. But the noble individuals who renounce entering into nirvana because they know that conditioned dharmas are transitory and empty, also renounce this merit. It is like a glowing bubble of molten gold, the beauty of which the eye perceives but which cannot be touched because it would burn the hand. Those who have an ulcer need an unguent. Those who do not have an ulcer do not need a remedy. Similarly, corporeal beings, ever tormented like an ulcer by hunger, thirst, cold, and heat, use clothing, coverlets, food and C. A temperate climate, which are like the unguent spread on an ulcer. If, out of love for the remedy, they do not use it to get rid of their ulcer, they would be stupid, for when one does not have an ulcer, the remedy is useless. The Buddhas think of the body as an ulcer and, because they have rejected this body ulcer, they do not rejoice over the reward for their merits. This is why, although they have great merits, they do not receive the reward. Sutra. These lotuses thrown by Sakyamuni filled the Buddha universes of the East as numerous as the sands of the Ganges. Sastra. Question. How can these few lotuses fill so many universes? Answer. -1. This is due to the Buddha's abhijnas. By virtue of the first eight, he can transform the dharmas at will. Make small that which is big. Make big that which is small, make heavy that which is light, make light that which is heavy, freely move at will without hindrance, shake the great earth, realize wishes. The great arhats possess all these eight masteries. This is why the Buddha is able to fill the universes of the East that are as numerous as the sands of the Ganges with just a few flowers. 2. Moreover, he wants to show beings that the future reward of their merits is comparable to these few lotuses that succeed in filling the universes of the East. 3. Finally, he encourages the bodhisattvas of the East by saying to them, plant your merits in the Buddha field and the reward you will receive will be like these lotuses that fill innumerable lands. Although you come from afar, you will have joy. The reward for encountering this great field of merit is immense. Sutra. On each of these lotuses there were bodhisattvas sitting cross-legged preaching the 6 virtues. Those who heard them were settled in supreme perfect enlightenment. Sastra. Question. The Buddha had previously created 1,000-petaled lotuses of precious stones by the rays of his tongue. On each of them there was a seated Buddha. Why are there bodhisattvas now seated on each lotus? Answer. Previously, it was a question of lotuses created by the Buddha. This is why there were Buddhas seated on them. Here it is a matter of lotuses offered by the bodhisattva samantarasmi. This is why there are bodhisattvas seated on them. Previously, beings had to see the seated Buddhas in order to be saved. Here they must see bodhisattvas in order to be saved. These bodhisattvas, seated cross-legged, are preaching the 6 virtues, and those who hear them are settled in supreme perfect enlightenment. Sutra. These monastic and lay bodhisattvas, youths and maidens, bow their heads down to the feet of the Buddha Sakyamuni. Each of them express their worship, obedience, veneration, and respect. These bodhisattas, monastic and lay, youths and maidens, one after another, by the power of their roots of good and their merits, pay homage to Shakyamuni, Buddha, Arhat, Samyaksambuddha. Sastra. Here are the stanzas which they spoke. The path which the Arhats have traveled, the Buddha has followed in the same way. True nature and point of arrival are the same for the Buddha and not otherwise. The Aryas speak the truth. The Buddha also speaks the truth. This is why the Buddha is given the epithet of Tathagata, speaking the truth. With patience as breastplate, his mind is firm. With exertion as bow, his strength is bent like the bow with the sharp arrow of his wisdom. He slays his enemies, pride, etc. He has the right to the complete worship of gods and men. This is why we give to the Buddha the epithet of Arhat, having the right. He knows full well the true nature of suffering, he also knows the origin of suffering.